Hey everyone, it's Nicole, and this is week 34 since my vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I had my surgery March 22nd of 2011, so it's been 8 months, almost 8 months, getting closer and closer to a year. I can't believe it's been so long. Actually, I can believe it's been so long. It feels like it was forever ago. I went through this very, very long stall I feel like it was like months long. It wasn't months long. It just felt like it was. I don't really know why our body does the weird things that it does. I think that it just lets us know that in some weird way, like, our body's going to do what our bodies want to do, whether we work hard or not. I know that a lot of times trainers and people will tell you that you have to take control of your body, but I feel like in some way our bodies always have control, because there's things that we can do to push it towards a certain goal, a certain way, but in the end, they're always, like, I feel like our bodies always have a bit of control over what happens, like, in some way or shape or form. I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but I just feel like there was a time in my journey where I spent weeks and weeks and weeks at the gym, not at the gym, it was when I was doing Insanity. I spent the whole time working my butt off, sweating like crazy, eating perfectly, drinking 1,000 gallons of water, it felt like, doing everything right I could possibly think of, taking everyone's advice. I mean, I felt like I was doing everything possibly right. And I didn't lose any weight. Granted, at the end, I did take my inches, and I had lost inches, but there was no weight loss whatsoever. And I know that when you're working out, your body changes from fat to muscle, and muscle weighs more. I've heard all that. I know all that. But it was just very difficult for me. It was very stressful. It was very discouraging is what it was. So then I just made some changes. I didn't work out as much. I got discouraged, actually. I didn't really make changes. I just got discouraged. So I backed off working out. Eating has never really been a problem for me since the beginning. I've just made really good habits. So I haven't, like, even when I do make a bad decision, I make sure it's early in the day. That way I have the whole day to burn those calories off, and I work harder to burn them off. I just try to do well. Like, obviously I'm not perfect. There are times where I have a cheeseburger when I shouldn't have, but I obviously can't have a whole lot of it. I mean, I couldn't finish a whole cheeseburger if I tried. So I find that after eating something like that, I would want to go outside and walk the dog, or go play outside with my son, or hurry and clean house. Like, there's something that, like, I feel like I have to burn something. I have to do something in order to burn a little bit of those calories off, because whether or not it was good or bad, I still don't want I don't want it to be okay in my head that I can eat these things just because I can only eat a certain amount. So I still find myself wanting to do some type of activity after a meal or something crazy that I shouldn't have had. I started my journey out at 238 pounds, and while I'm only 5'3", that makes me very short and round, so stubby, very stubby. I weighed 184 pounds in my last video, and as a matter of fact, the very next day I had a 3-pound weight loss. I went from 184.3 to 181.8. And then Friday morning it was 181.2. And never really do I follow the decimal. For some reason, the last few increments just stood out for me. To be at 181 is strange. Very, very strange. I don't know why it makes me tear up. I think the last time I weighed 181 pounds, I was pregnant the first time. if you've watched all my videos, you know that there was, in my earlier videos, I had a pregnancy before and ended up delivering way too early and losing the baby. Which took me through this horrible time in my life where food was the only thing that I felt like was comforting me. And I got out of control. Obviously, that's why we are where we are right now. It was out of control. Anyway, so to be back at a point where I was in such a difficult time in my life, it's almost like, not a goal, because I don't feel like this is where I need to stop, but it's like, haha, I did it. I'm back to where I started, like where this all went crazy. And it's like I want to just stick it to whoever, not whoever, but, stick it to the fact that to life, like, you can take things away from me and you can make me miserable. And it may take me 5 years, but I will get my life back. And I feel like that's where I am now. To be back at the point where I feel like I lost control of my body, and I lost any type of what little bit of self-esteem I could possibly have. I lost all of that at that point, and it's just nice to feel like me again. And I didn't realize that this would be so emotional. Actually, I didn't even realize it until I started making this video and I started talking about this, because it all just kind of sank in just now. And it's very strange. It's very, very strange. It feels good. It feels like I've accomplished something, even though I'm not done. I'm totally not done. Last week I told you guys that I'd been being lazy, and the colder weather has caused me to slack on my exercising, and I told you that I was going to get up and go right then. I didn't. I ended up having to go to work right away, and I didn't go to the gym, and I sadly haven't been since. Oh God, I'm sorry, my hair's stuck in my earring. Anyway, so the holidays come around and I become this like crazy frantic person that has to have everything organized and everything. Just like I told you on my video, I'm never organized. I never know what I'm doing or I'm going to talk about until I start talking. And I'm the opposite of that when it comes to like arranging holiday things and party type stuff and things that I have to take part in or I have to help with or whatever. Like, I feel like I have to be on top of those things. And anyway, it's like not even Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's next week, and I feel like I need to go right now to my little storage closet and get all my Christmas stuff out right now. And I don't know why I feel that way. I just feel this huge pressure that I have to get it done, before Thanksgiving, when normal people don't put their tree up till after Thanksgiving. Anyway, so the holiday time comes, and I become solely, overwhelmed by all the things that are going on. And so I have this, feeling that nothing's going to happen until after the holidays. Now, I also told you guys that I'm fine. I know that it's inevitable. I'm going to eat things that I probably shouldn't, that I normally wouldn't. And that's okay, because I'm not going to miss out on having fun with my family and the fun things that you have to eat one time a year. So, excuse me, I'm not going to make myself crazy. I'm not going to be miserable. I don't want to gain. So if there's a gain, then there will absolutely be something done about it, because I'm not going to gain weight. I am just saying that I'm okay with maintaining through the holidays is what I'm saying. I don't want to gain. If there's a gain, then I'm going to go have my husband tie me to the back of the car while he drives it. Something's going to happen. So, anyway, I didn't mean to get all emotional. I didn't even think that was going to happen. I just sitting here, actually I've made this video several times, and not once have I even spoke about what I just talked about. It just kind of hit me that the last time I weighed this amount, that was going on in my life. a couple of things have happened the last couple of days that have just really made me feel like I've always felt like this was worth it. Even just losing a few pounds in the beginning, I already felt like it was worth it to me. The surgery and the pain and the money and all that, like it was all worth it to me. But I feel more satisfied. I'm getting a little bit more, like, just, like there was, I saw my grandmother on her birthday on the 11th, and she had said, so how much are you weighing? And I said 184. At the time it was 184. And she said, 184? You don't look like you weigh 184. There's no way you weigh 184. And I was like, oh, that's how much I weigh. So it kind of felt good to hear a number that I still feel like is super high, but have someone say, you don't look, it doesn't look like that. So that feels good, because I still feel like I'm at this huge number, and I feel like I shouldn't be being as far out as I am. So, and then like later on that day, it was the next day, I made dinner for my grandma for her birthday, and my family was here, and I'd made her a chocolate cake and all these things, and my granddad had mentioned the same thing. You're looking so thin, da da da. Like, he said, I saw you. He lives next door to they live next door to my parents, and he said, I saw you at your mom's the other day, and I had to look twice. I didn't really recognize who it was. And I thought, oh, that's sweet. That's so nice. Like, for my family, I feel like it takes more for my family to see, because they see me all the time. So it was nice. It made me feel good. I have always known since the very beginning, like since dieting was the first issue with me, the whole like, I'm kind of jumping because I want to stay like time-wise, I want to stay on track. So I'd made the chocolate cake for my grandma, and so that brings me to the whole like, when you crave things, eat it. If you want something, eat it. Don't hold off and like withhold yourself from it. Because then you pick and pick and pick all day long, and then finally, eventually give in, and you have what you wanted in the first place, but then you have like 87,000 times what you would have. So the whole time I'm making this cake, I'm thinking, I'm making this, and it's going to be so good, and they're going to love it, and blah, blah, blah. And I said to myself, like, and I'm going to have a piece. And it's like, as long as I knew it was okay, and I made it okay that I had a piece, I didn't feel bad for having it. And I just had a small piece, and it wasn't a big deal. And when it was over, it was over. And that was it. And I didn't go back and have this ginormous piece when I thought nobody was looking. Like, it was fine, it was over, and it was done with. And I say that because I feel like we're told just eat what you want, so that you don't have 4 or 5 different things in place of it, but then you still want what you want. And you eventually go back to that and have 3 times what you should have. I say that because we all know that. We're all told that. We all know it, but we still do it. Because, oh, I don't want that Halloween candy. I want that Halloween candy so bad, but I know if I have 1, I'm going to have 6, and da-da-da. And just make it a habit. Like, I have to say, okay, have 1 piece, but then leave it alone. And then I have 1, and it's fine. It's okay. Like, I don't have to go back to the candy bowl 6 times the rest of the day. Or I don't even have to go back to it the next day, because I'm okay with just having 1 piece, here and there, and it's fine. My thing, like I've told you guys 100 times that I'm not big on sweets, so I don't really have like a sweet tooth. I don't have like a brownie or a cookie that I crave or whatever. My thing is Cokes. I was a big Coke drinker before surgery, and since surgery I've obviously slacked off 1,000%. There's just about every 6, 7, 8 days I get this hankering, and I really want a Coke, like a Coca-Cola with ice, and that's just what I want. Now, if it's not the way I want it, if somebody, say Jerry, my husband, has a canned Coke and I have a drink of it, it's not the same thing. I don't want a drink of it. I want one in a cup with ice and a straw, and that's how I want it. And so when that time comes, it's usually when I'm at work, and I just go next door and I get it, and I'm fine with it, and I'm satisfied, I'm content, and it's done. And I don't want another one for a while.